Here now is John Levine from the New York Post. He has been covering all of this very closely. John, it's great to have you on a day with breaking news like this. At first, you see the headline and you think, wow, potentially maybe we're making some progress here with respect to Hunter Biden in light of the Devin Archer testimony, in light of the new bank records that just came out this week showing some of those transactions to shell companies. But then you start digging into this announcement from Merrick Garland and the Justice Department that they've appointed this special counsel into the Hunter probe. And lo and behold, the special counsel is David Weiss. Now, he was a Trump appointee, but he's also the guy who's signed off on that sweetheart deal and was going to let Hunter walk.
Right. There's definitely pros and cons here. I mean, on the one hand, he's becoming a special counsel, have a lot more broad powers to investigate things that, if you believe the whistleblowers, he tried to investigate but was prevented by the Department of Justice. So, you know, if you assume the good faith of David Weiss, and this is a good development. But on the other hand, what Jim Jordan said is correct. He did sign off on a sweetheart plea deal that was thrown out by a federal judge. And he's just, it's a question of whether he can really be trusted with the investigation. And I'll say also, it will limit the ability of the House Oversight Committee to do their probe, because now, as you mentioned, he's not going to come testify. And the Department of Justice will have a broad mandate now to basically not cooperate with the committee, because they'll say this is now a special counsel.
That's exactly where I want to go with you next. Is this now further taken out of the hands of Republicans?
When you talk to Jordan's people, when you talk to Comer's people, there's always been a lot of trepidation about a special counsel, because now, you know, look, we're talking about it now. Obviously, there's some very bad headlines for the president that are going to go on for a few days. But, you know, this is a Friday news dump. By the time we get to Monday, this is going to go underground now for years. You know how long special counsels take. You remember how long Durham took from when that was appointed to Durham report is years. So we're looking at three concurrent special counsels, one against President Biden, one against former President Trump, and now one against Hunter Biden, which will linger on into the 2024 race. Just a cloud of scandal for everybody.
John, this looks like a timeline play to me, and I'm being cynical about it. But basically, if we go special counsel, we can run out the clock, certainly past any election. But even beyond that, John, I know that's a cynical take, but you've got statute of limitations. You've got other issues. Is this just a timeline?
Well, it's funny to see, you mentioned timeline. It's funny to see the comparative velocities of these special counsels. Obviously, in the case of Trump with Jack Smith, that's moving very, very, very quickly, and he wants to go to a very speedy trial and get that all wrapped up before the 2024 presidential election. But I have a feeling that the Weiss special counsel is going to take its very sweet time, and I don't think we'll see a similar velocity for the Weiss special counsel. I mean, has anyone even heard about the President Biden special counsel for his classified documents? There's been virtually zero progress there. It's just kind of gone into the mist. So I'm sympathetic to Republicans who are worried that their initiative will be taken from them in this decision.
John, for people out there who have lost confidence in our Justice Department and our government agencies, they think some of these investigations against former President Trump are politically motivated. This might almost take that theory one step further and work in Trump's favor, because they might look at this and say, we're about a year out of an election, and all of a sudden, you know, you get these pieces of evidence start flying about Hunter Biden. So now, is this Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, trying to make it look like, oh no, see, the Justice Department is fair, we're investigating?
I obviously think Merrick Garland is doing this in part to attempt to restore credibility to the Department of Justice. Now, whether that succeeds or not, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that you know, there's too much poison in the well at this point to just make Weiss a special counsel and it all goes away. I think ultimately there needs to be a much broader reshuffling at the Department of Justice and within our federal agency to you know, end the politicization and weaponization of government. And I know that's a pretty standard campaign plank now for every major Republican nominee, potential nominee. Certainly President Trump and Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy have all talked about reorganizing government to take out the weaponization and the partisanship and just get back to nonpartisan, good government officials that treat everyone fairly. And, you know, that credibility has been lost, and I don't know that it comes back with Weiss being a special counsel.
John Levine from the New York Post, thank you so much.